Hi, I'm Amber James, owner of Amber James. Because I don't work a job, I am a job. And you are watching Midwest League TV. So, I'm a comedian. I've been doing comedy for over 10 years, and I'm just now starting to treat that as a business. And that happened after the pandemic, when I seen all my my co-workers getting these loans and getting these grants and stuff for artistry, for entertainers. I was like trying to apply for the loans and stuff, and I'm like, well, I don't got this paperwork and I don't got that paperwork. I always just seen it as a side hustle. So now, after that, you know, I ended up filing the paperwork, making a Comedy Bay LLC, Comedy Bay Entertainment LLC. So now I'm starting to treat that as a business, and it's working out fine. I also am a hairstylist and a boutique owner, and I also do visual art as well. So all of that stuff during the pandemic, I didn't know that you could get grants and loans and all this stuff for it. So I have AJ Original Paintings, Paparazzi Ready 2 Boutique, Paparazzi Ready Glam Bar, and Comedy Bay. It was a little, I was turned off at first, because for one, I couldn't wrap my head around making people laugh, what I naturally do, becoming a job. So I was pushing back on that. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. That's, you know, this is what I do naturally. I love making my friends and family laugh. But, and then when I started meeting the people who I grew up watching, I was a little turned off at first, because I was like, oh, they weird, you know, because I was thinking, you know, when you see people on stage, you think they supposed to be on all the time. So I was like, hey, happy to meet them, and they was just like, hey, and I'm like, wait a minute, but I get it, because I'm that person too. But so I was a little turned off at first, but then I kept getting these opportunities and opportunities to work with these amazing people, traveling, doing stuff, getting paid for it. So I was like, wait a minute, you know, this, it might be on to something. And then I just kept getting booked and booked and booked. And so I said, well, this might be my purpose. And it just so happened that my purpose and my passion, which is, you know, beautifying women, the industry, the artistry, it started to meet, because I was getting a lot of attention, and people was remembering me for my stage presence, my outfits, the way I looked. And so that kept getting me gigs, on top of me actually being funny. And it just worked together. So I tell people all the time, you can do your passion, but you also have to walk in your purpose. And pretty soon your passion and your purpose will meet, and then that's life. Life is worth living after that, because you get to do what you love and doing what you're supposed to do at the same time. Well, you have to my grandmother had 11 children, and so there's like, I have literally like 30 first cousins, and then it's on the second and third cousin. So you gotta know that out of 100 family members, and we're all a close, tight-knit family, somebody gotta be talented out of the bunch. It just so happened that my children are talented as well. So my son, who's a rapper, very talented, and my daughter can sing. So she don't want to pursue that, but my son actually goes hard in his talent. He's one of the hardest working rappers that you will, or entertainers that you will meet. But we have an understanding about the business, and it helps us both with pushing each other, encouraging each other, and just being able to talk about the issues that pop up in the entertainment industry, and to help us not have survivor's remorse for being successful, because a lot of times people end up having survivor's remorse when you know, they exceed the limit, or you know, go above and beyond in the entertainment industry. We help each other to realize that we deserve to be there because we work hard to be there. And so, you know, we're able to talk about stuff like that. Yeah, for one, you would have to know my sister. She did everything she wanted to do before she left here. She was a fantastic stylist. She got to work on video shoots. She got to work on a bunch of stuff that she did before she passed away. And just knowing my sister and knowing she was my biggest fan and I was her biggest fan, she would not want me to be standing still or grieving so deeply that I wasn't able to keep things going. And I moved through life as if she were still here, as if I know that she would want me to. And you know, just from that, I hear her a lot of times pushing me, and you know, I can hear her voice when I'm feeling down, like, you know, don't give up, keep going. And you know, I know that if I were to pass away and she would still be here, she would do the same. She would know my expectations of her. So I just moved through life as if I know that she's watching me and I know that she's still here. And it's like, instead of what would Jesus do, it's like, what would Fonda do? I've always been self-employed. I've been a hairstylist for over 27 years. And it started with that, and I never wanted to be the type of beautician or stylist that just sat behind a chair, because a lot of people get burnt out of that. And my passion is beautifying women, and I couldn't imagine myself getting burnt out of doing hair. So I thought of other avenues that I could take, so I wouldn't be stagnant. So I ended up doing being a platform artist. Ended up doing hair shows, trying to educate, and more. I've also went the makeup artist route, and eventually got into clothes. We started out, Paparazzi Ready started out as a style team, and people will hire us to do weddings, photo shoots, things like that. The style team consisted of a barber, beautician, makeup artist, and my sister was a stylist. So Paparazzi Ready was the name brand that I came up with, because, you know, people always need to present themselves in the best light. So why not always be paparazzi ready when you're out and about? And just to let people know that anybody can be paparazzi ready. You can always feel like a celebrity. You can always feel famous when you look in your best self. So that started, and then from that, my sister ended up doing the boutique. I ended up doing a makeup line, having a hair salon, and the brand just grew and grew to what it is now, a household name. Yeah, I like that, the sequel. What happened was I owned a hair salon, Paparazzi Ready, which is a couple buildings down. We were open for a couple of years, and then the pandemic hit. But when I opened up the salon out here in Sobro, I noticed the foot traffic. But if you know about 46th Street, there was a lot of dilapidated buildings and empty buildings. So I thought I saw potential in some of the buildings. So I was trying to think, what else could I do with these buildings? Because I was hearing that we were going to have the All-Star game in 2021, and I noticed the foot traffic. So I'm like, I gotta put something else here what else could I put? And here, over here, the rent was so dirt cheap. So I was like, what could I put? What could I put? And I'm like, duh, you know, Paparazzi Ready, it goes hand in hand with fashion, which I didn't want to do the boutique thing because my sister had done it already. But I was thinking, you know, what better way to keep her legacy alive than to keep the tradition going? So, because I had the Paparazzi Ready salon and a spinoff on what my sister has already done, Paparazzi Ready 2, pun intended with 2, and also 2 because we were down the street from the hair salon. During the quarantine, unfortunately, or fortunately, because everything happens for a reason, but I had to close my hair salon, and I ended up just moving the hair salon into the back of the boutique, and it worked out perfectly. Can't be sad about it. Everything happened for a reason, and it worked out fine, and we're doing great. I try to go with the demographic, the neighborhood. Also, I think of people who I have in mind. So I know people that like fashion, all the way from my niece who's 22 to my mom who dresses her butt off, being 61. So I'm like, who can I think of between the ages of 20 to 61 that could wear you know, fashions but keep it cost effective and you know, for the demographic of the area that I'm in, and still look good for the reasonable price. Nothing in here is over $60. So Parker, he has the dope line. He also has crystals, earrings, bracelets, from the crystals and the minerals and the rocks and stuff to you know, he's into all that universe earthly stuff. We also have my sister Janisa Washington. She's our buyer for shoes and handbags. She has a really unique outlook. She's a whimsical type of person, so you might see a French fry purse, a radio purse, something like that. That's unique, and that definitely conversation pieces. I have my cousin Cassie with K Sassy Exotics. So you'll find lingerie and swimsuits that's more for your sexier side. I have, who else do I have here? I think, yeah, those are the three ones who are renting space in here. But other than that, me, myself, and my cousin Angela, who co-owns this with me, we kind of go in together with getting different looks. I had a model, my little cousin, and I finally got the perfect model. Everybody loved her, and they was buying stuff off the strength of her modeling. And she got pregnant. She got pregnant. So it went a while where I wasn't posting anything because I didn't have a model. And I was like, you know what, forget this. I'm about to start putting this stuff on myself, which I never wanted to do because I'm a little taller than most. Not the average woman size, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So I ended up just modeling, and it worked out fine. So wait for her to drop that kid so she can get back on a job. You know what? That is a good question, because sometimes you forget to celebrate the wins. Because I'm always on go. But I think I'm most proud of us surviving this pandemic. We're still here. We'll be here 3 years in November. And I think we're going to keep going. So I'm most proud of that. What I would say is consistency is the key, and do not try to fit a square peg in a round hole. You got to know to let stuff go, and you can't receive anything if you're always holding on to something. So sometimes letting go, you're making space for other blessings to come. So don't be afraid to lose. because on the other side of that is usually a win.